Get ready to raise your energy and have some fun as we focus on the topics and ask the questions that shine a light on what it takes to practice being spiritual. Welcome to Speaking of Healing. I'm your host, Dorian Lynn. I'm an RN, holistic wellness coach, Reiki master healer, aromatherapy consultant, and creator of the bioenergy aromatherapy method of healing. I like to help people learn to use the language of energy so that they can rise up and connect with spirit for a higher level of health and well-being. Welcome to this first episode of Speaking of Healing. I'm your host, Dorian Lynn. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the top reasons why we all need chakra balancing and healing, what chakra energy is, and who can do chakra healing. Plus, I'll be sharing something I came across that just made me say, that is not very spiritual of you. So I hope you'll stick around because it's my first show and I want you to be able to walk away from it saying, yeah, that was awesome. Okay, so today, 10 reasons why we all need chakra healing. So let's define chakra healing, why don't we? I'm going to put it nice and simple. Chakra healing is this ancient idea about how to heal the body and soul through flowing energy. That's it in a nutshell. But first I want to ask you something, because I came across this article and I just could not believe it when I read it. Have you ever been picked out of a crowd by someone who was claiming to be a healer of some sort, and they kind of gave you this weird vibe? Well, I can tell you it happened to me. And I was in college and I was in film school. Not that that's relevant to the story, but I was kind of surrounded by, these interesting, unique people and kind of a crazy neighborhood. And I was walking with my friend down the street, and the sidewalk was very crowded. And I don't know how many of you have ever been to New York or currently living in New York. If you are, you have my sympathies because the crime there right now is really bad. But I was walking down this crowded sidewalk with my friend, and there's people lined up on both sides, and they've got their tables of stuff that they're selling, and I don't even know if they could do that anymore. I mean, this was back like in 88, 89, something like that. So anyway, so we're walking, and out of the crowd, we just hear this woman yell, "You!" And she's pointing her finger, and like everybody in the crowd is, turning around looking to see who's she talking to. Well, she was pointing at me. And she goes, "You, come over here." So I don't know what the hell possessed me to walk over to this woman, So, I mean, I had my friend with me, so I was like, okay, So we walk over and she says, "Your aura is very dark. There's a lot of darkness. I see a lot of black in your aura. What is going on with you?" And I'm like, well, I'm really not going to spill my guts to this stranger on the street. So she says, come upstairs to my apartment and I'll do a reading for you. And I looked at my friend and my friend looked at me. And although I was very adventurous at the time, I was like, no, this is even too much for me. So we were like, no, that's okay, and kept on walking. But I've never forgotten that experience for whatever reason. And then I came across this article. Now, this is an old article from UPI, and it's dated December 5th of 2013. But this is U.S. News, and the title of the article is, "Man Arrested in Florida for Allegedly Swindling 2 Women Out of $85,700. Okay, so what do you think? It's like some Social Security scam or some credit card thing, or, what's that thing they always send about your computer? Your computer, you've been locked out of your computer, you got to send us money. Yeah, okay, so whatever. So I start reading this article, and you'll see in a second why this just made me like my jaw drop open. Okay, so I'm going to read it to you. It says, police in Florida say they've arrested a man who allegedly swindled two women out of $85,700 for bogus, quote-unquote, faith healing services. Okay. The man booked into jail as, I'm not even going to say his name. Although police are unsure of his real name, he allegedly told the women he would perform rituals and sacrifices to expel bad luck and cleanse them of harmful spiritual impurities, the South Florida Sun-Sentinel reported. Okay, so this woman that, she's one of the women that got swindled. She's quoted as saying, "I was very upset for being so naive and gullible. I felt like, what an idiot. How could you fall for this? It was very demoralizing." She said she met this guy at a mall in Hallandale where he told her she had a quote-unquote beautiful aura. Okay, so at least she had a beautiful aura, right? Mine was like dark and dangerous. So she goes on to say, it's just the way he came across, very humble, understanding, just a very familiar feeling. And recently I had been becoming more religious and spiritual with energy work, positive thinking and auras, and it struck me as odd that he could see that. Okay, so like if that's what your gut is telling you, that this guy is weird, then you need to walk away, people. Like, don't fall for stuff like this. Okay, so now here's the kicker. This guy told this woman his name was Dorian. I shit you not. And he offered, quote unquote, to align her chakras and prevent bad things from happening to her. This is in the police report. He sold her 3 crystals for $5,200 each, saying, quote, they were essential for her to maintain a good aura. The suspect is also accused of stealing $39,000 in cash and some jewelry from her for a total loss of $48,700. The second victim met him also at the mall, and he allegedly convinced her to pay him $37,000, quote, to cleanse the impurities from her. The defendant in this case has used multiple identities, dates of birth, and social security numbers, police reports said. The defendant has no known state photo identification, and his true name has not been confirmed. Oh my God. The suspect is being held at a Pompano Beach jail on $16,000 bond. Okay. Well, thanks for that, for using my name Dorian. Like it's such a weird, bizarre name anyway. Like I've never met anybody other than myself in person named Dorian. And here you go. And I don't know. So I just thought I would share that with you. Anyway, onward and upward. So yeah, that's not very spiritual of you, dude. Don't do crap like that. Oh, man. All right, so let's get on to the main substance of the show. So we're going to talk about 10 reasons why we all need spiritual healing. Chakra healing. Did I say spiritual healing? Well, it's the same thing. 10 compelling reasons why we all need chakra healing. All right, so let's talk about this. What is a chakra? Do we even know? Well, if you do a quick search on the internet of this question, you're going to get pages and pages of articles mentioning Sanskrit, the word wheel, and energy centers. And, although all this is true, I am a deep diver. I like to go under the surface and really find out what a chakra is. Like, don't tell me what it is. Tell me how it works. This, I was like this as a nurse too. Like, don't tell me the disease that they have. I want to know how that disease is working in the body. Because if you don't know how it's working, how can you fix it, right? Okay, so not only are we going to deep dive into what a chakra is, but first we need to deep dive into what energy is. You have to understand what energy is in order to understand a chakra, because a chakra is an energy center. So if I asked you the question, what is energy? I'm guessing the things you might say, but why don't I just ask you, what do you think energy is? Maybe put it in the comments section under the podcast video. But I'm going to say that you're going to say it's something like, it's the thing we need to be able to run or make our coffee in the morning or charge our cell phone. And although that is right, it really only tells us what energy is used for, not what it is. So with the exception of energy in the form of light, energy is not a thing. Energy refers to the condition or the state of a thing. So what do I mean by that? I mean, you can have energy, you can lose energy, or you can pass energy from one object to another. Now, we've all heard the phrase, energy can't be created or destroyed. Yes, and that is true. What I really like to focus on is the passing of energy from one object to another. Because when we're talking about the human body, the objects that we're referring to are our cells. Now, your cells are made up of smaller parts called atoms. I know you can think back to your 7th grade science class when they taught you all about protons, neutrons, and electrons. So these smaller particles, they're positive, negative, or neutral. And when there's a chemical reaction that happens in your body, these charged particles pass their energy, whatever it happens to be, to each other. And I want you to know that humans also have what's known as resonant energy. So what is resonant energy? Well, what that means is even though we might be sitting or standing perfectly still, not doing anything, we're still sending out energy into the space around us. And that space around us is called our aura or our biofield. So we're sending out constantly this condition of energy. And the space around us is able to absorb what we're sending it. And it also sends back to us energy from other people and places around us. So I don't know about you, but that makes me think twice about who and what I allow into my personal space. And I'm pretty picky. Not for nothing, but yeah, I'm pretty picky about who and what is in my personal space. Okay, so we've talked about this resonant energy, and as humans, we have electrical and magnetic properties. So our bodies are able to send out heat, sound, and light, all forms of energy that we're able to send out. Now, how do we know for sure that this energy exists and we're sending it out? Well, we can measure our heat with a thermometer. We can hear our external sound energy with our ears, right? We can hear somebody saying, "I love you," or somebody saying, "I can't stand you." And we can hear our internal sound energy with a stethoscope. And as a nurse, I have used both thermometers and stethoscopes. So I am a monitor of energy. But less commonly known is the fact that we also generate light at 1,000 times less intense than levels that the naked eye can see. We generate light. Yes. Yes, we do. That's a strong yes. And the reason because is the charged particles within our atoms are vibrating. They are vibrating with energy. Right? And when something is vibrating, what do you picture? Something moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that's energy going from one place to another, one place to another, one place to another. And this is all happening during the billions and billions of cellular processes, chemical reactions going on within the human body every single day. The The end result of these reactions is that we're giving off two things. We're giving off biophotons and we're giving off electromagnetic energy. And when you put biophotons and electromagnetic energy together, you know what you get? You get light. Light energy, which can be measured in frequencies. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are beings of energy. Or a phrase you might be more familiar with, beings of light. And if you haven't done a lot of study in chakras and things of that nature, you might hear, we are beings of light, and roll your eyes, because you might have noticed by now that I don't really speak the way a lot of spiritual people do. I'm just, that's not me. So I hear beings of light and I go, okay, yes, we are. I can scientifically prove it. And that's okay for me. But yeah, you might be the kind that rolls your eyes. You might not be. Either way, welcome to Speaking of Healing. So now that you know what energy is and what it's not, you can easily understand what a chakra is. So how do I define a chakra? I don't define it as the Sanskrit word for wheel, because that's not the way I am. The way I define a chakra is it's one of over 100 areas in your body where there's a lot of cells passing energy to each other and out into the space around you. And that's basically it. They're also the place where you absorb back into your body the energy from outside of you, like we talked about just a few moments ago. Now, I want to talk about chakra healing, right? Because that's the main focus of this article and this podcast. The article, I'm actually going to put the link to it in the show notes. So to get the show notes, you need to sign up for my newsletter. So just go to dorianlynn.com/newsletter, and you'll be able to get the show notes and updates about what's going on with me and stuff in the store and new blog posts and things of that nature. But yeah, so most people focus on the 7 main chakras when they talk about chakra healing. And they do this not only for physical healing, but also emotional and spiritual development as well. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's get into the meat and potatoes and not just the dessert. All right, so 10 reasons why we all need and what you can expect from chakra healing for the body, the mind, the emotions, and the spirit. Okay, folks. Number one, physical health and well-being. When your chakra energy system is negatively altered or compromised over an extended period of time, changes can start happening at the cellular level. And when the cellular level is affected, physical symptoms begin to appear in the body. Right? We all know what stress does to our bodies. Stress can kill you, right? How many times have you heard it? That stress is going to kill you. It's no joke. Stress can kill you. Also, disturbances in your auric field eventually will manifest as disease in your physical body, meaning that healing any imbalances in the aura is also going to help the body to resist illness. Number 2, spiritual maturity. When you start learning how to balance your chakras and heal your chakras, you're going to learn to see your body and your spirit in a whole new way. And you're going to start to understand the lessons that are associated with each chakra. You're going to discover the spiritual causes of physical illness and how to recover emotionally and physically. That reminds me, I read this really good book once. And I think it was definitely by Dr. Dyer. And it was called, There's a Spiritual Solution for Every Problem. And I truly do believe that. Number 3, improved sleep. Focusing on the chakras quiets your mind, and it helps you set intentions for yourself. And with routine practice, you're going to be able to evoke this relaxation response and find yourself able to drift peacefully off to sleep. Number 4, you'll be able to let go of the notion of being a victim. Oh boy, this is a biggie. The first chakra, the root chakra, teaches us that we don't have the power to change what has happened in our lives. We can't go back for do-overs. We can only go forward. So we have to learn to put our faith and our trust in divine authority and justice, and understand that our painful experiences are challenging us to take a closer look at where we've placed or misplaced our faith. Wow. Number 5, breaking bad habits. Now we're talking about the second chakra, because the second chakra, that's the energy center in the body where we find our personal morals and our code of ethics. Here we hold the promises we've made to ourselves and others. It allows us to communicate what we will and won't accept in our relationships with others. Yes, what you tolerate, you perpetuate. The creative energy of the second chakra helps us to break out of negative patterns in our behaviors, our thoughts, and our relationships. Yes, I think we all could use some second chakra healing. Number 6, developing self-esteem. The third chakra is where we become alive by becoming empowered. Our external circumstances of the past and the present that coax us into contemplating and undergoing necessary change become these small rites of passage on our journey toward personal power. Yes, number 6, developing self-esteem. That's a biggie. Well, at least for me it is. I'm a big sufferer of lack of self-esteem. You can ask my husband. Number 7, moving beyond old wounds. I think we all have issues with this too. The fourth chakra is a center of our energy system. Do we all know what the fourth chakra is? It is the heart chakra. It sits halfway between the first and the seventh chakras. It's here where we receive the heart energy that runs our lives. Yes, yes. When your heart is broken, having the time and the support system to process your wounds is comforting. And the problem begins when the compassion of others starts to feel too good, and we forget how or just refuse to move on with life. So learning what to do with your pain, that's the lesson of the fourth chakra. Number 8, breaking fear's authority over your life. Between the head and the heart lies the fifth chakra, the place where we begin to understand the communication patterns between the heart and the mind. The energetic essence of the fifth chakra is faith. Evaluating where we place our faith is the lesson to be learned here. We can have faith in people, faith in ideas, or faith in fear. We have to be careful where we place the energy of our mind and our heart. We can give our power to fear or free ourselves from it. It is our choice. Number 9, changing the rules and beliefs you live by. The energy of the sixth chakra sees us expanding into the realm of consciousness. We evaluate our memories and our attitudes, and we see our awareness shift. We look within to understand what we believe and why. What is our why? We develop inner guidance to begin changing the rules we used to live by and the beliefs we used to hold. And number 10, seventh chakra energy radiates love and wisdom and the desire to live in service to all of life on earth, which sounds like a huge undertaking. It provides a closer spiritual connection to the divine and helps answer the questions you seek guidance about. Well, folks, thanks for listening. This has been a lot of fun for the first time out. I hope you do sign up for my newsletter at dorylyn.com/newsletter. If you need to contact me for any reason, you can contact me through email, contact@dorylyn.com. You can contact me through social media, or I also have a live chat on my website, dorylyn.com. Again, thanks for listening, and I hope you have a magical and blessed day.